So the aim of this video is to remind you of some of the fraction equivalents to percentages, and then how you can use that to help you create some shortcuts and then be able to answer the non-calc questions with confidence, or it just might make you quicker in the calculator section as well. So let's have a look at this first one. Here we have got one section shaded out of two. That is equivalent to 50% because that would be equivalent to 50 squares out of 100. But because it's a half, to get 50%, you can just divide by 2. In this next image, we have 1 out of 10. That would be equivalent to 10 squares out of 100, so that is 10%. But where it's also 1 over 10, to find 10%, the quickest thing you can do is just divide by 10. 30% is 3 out of 10, or 30 squares out of 100, but when we compare this part here to this bit here, we've got 3 lots of this blue section. So there's one blue section. This time we have 1, 2, 3. So to find 30%, you would divide by 10, then times by 3. And you can use a similar technique for 20%. You would divide by 10 times by 2. 60% you would divide by 10 times by 6, all using the same principle. Here we've got one blue section out of 4, so that is 1/4. 1/4 is the same as 25 over 100 if you times top and bottom by 25, so that's 25%. But because 25% simplifies to a quarter, you can just divide by 4. And then here we've got 75%. But if we compare it to here, we've got one blue section, whereas we've got 1, 2, 3 blue sections here. So if we want 75%, divide by 4 to get 25%, and then times by 3. So let's have a look at the type of questions you'll get in LANTITE and how you can use these techniques in the non-calc section to make things quicker for you. So the first one, it says at a concert, we've got 40,000 people who attended, and 25% of them were seated in the general admission area. We want to figure out how many people that is. So we've been asked to find 25%. So from the previous slide, to find 25%, you can just take your total and divide it by 4. So if we have 40,000 people, we just do 40,000 divided by 4, and that's 10,000. And there you go, you've got your answer straight away. In this next one, we've got an education program which 36,000 students are taking. 20% of them are studying maths, and we want to figure out how many students that is. So again, from the previous slide, we saw to get 10%, you could just divide by 10, but we want 20%, but that's just double 10%, okay? 20% is 2/10, and 10% is 1/10. So find 10%, then multiply by 2. To get 10%, you just divide by 10. So 10% is 3,600. And if we want 20%, we just double that and we get 7,200. So these are typical types of questions for the non-calc section. If you are in the calc section and it had decimals, etc., then use your calculator. But the questions like this are realistic, where we're not having to do any rounding or anything. So this is realistic for the non-calc.